time for us to focus on something else. Well, on the show today, we want to feature IVF. Everyone knows what it is, in vitro fertilization. Now it's become a big buzzword in Malaysia, and of course that comes with its own set of problems, and we're going to try to find out why Malaysians are opting for this. Joining me is Dr. Mohan Varadaraju. He's a fertility consultant, obstetrician and gynecologist from KPJ Damansara Specialist Hospital. Also joining us is Darlene Ernie, and we'll find out why she's here in a short while. In the meantime, welcome to the show, both of you. Thank you very much for taking time off to be with us. Doctor, there's so much to understand about IVF. Now, we know it's an acronym for in vitro fertilization. Now, before we get into that, let's talk about your work as a fertility consultant. Obstetrician and gynecologist, most of us are pretty clear as to what they do. But when you say fertility, with the addition of fertility, how does that enhance your specialization?
If fertility means, fertility consultant means where we see most of the patients who are unable to conceive. That is where after their marriage more than a year. Okay. Let's say you're married more than a year, you're unable to conceive a child. If you're less than 35 years old, you need to seek treatment for your future child. So unable to do so, so you need to see a fertility consultant.
Right.
But in case for the women who are more than 35 years old, okay, if you are married for 6 months and you're unable to conceive, okay, we do advise them to seek treatment much more earlier, rather than you wait for a year or 2 years. So that's where the fertility consultant plays a role, or they come in for the advice.
But I guess before we even get into the thick of things, what got you interested in becoming a gynecologist and obstetrician and then specializing in fertilization?
First you have to be a gynecologist. Of course you have to do
because that's the base.
Yeah, that's
base
the base of
isn't
gynecologist. Then further on you need to move on to your fertility studies or fertility field of training. What interested me is, patient, satisfied or they are happy after the treatment. It is something like, they are longing for, for a child for many years. So once they get the child, the expression, over the face, how they thank you, we feel very happy for that.
I think it brings you joy to see a family bring a new life to the world.
To the world.
Yeah, so that's what got you into it, and that's been your motivational factor. Now, before we get into Darlene, we'll just talk about what is or why is the fertility rate declining in Malaysia?
So why it is declining is mostly due to urbanization, due to the culture shift, due to the more education, and the other thing is because women nowadays they're more educated. Okay, so they are chasing after their careers, or they want to become more in their life, so they delay their pregnancies. So not only that, most of them they wanted to delay their pregnancies and also they delay the number of the children, and they want to give a better education for the children and also to improve the quality of life. So that's why the reason why the fertility rate is becoming declining or less in Malaysia.
Right. So I guess the Asian problem is for us to go and talk to a doctor about this, to talk about fertility problems. Are we changing, or have we changed, from when we first started fertilization within Malaysia? People were shy to talk about it then.
I still believe there are still a number of people are very shy to talk about it. I do have patients who come to me after 10 years of marriage. They are very shy. They first of all, I'm not sure why they are shy. I'm not sure why they do not want to seek for fertility treatment, or are they are not aware of such treatments available in our country. And the other thing is, they are very taboo. Is it this fertility is going to, harm future of my child? Are they going to be a abnormal child going to be born? Well, most of them, they think that fertility is something, like in vitro fertilization, you're doing outside the uterus. So does it harm the baby, or is it the baby going to be abnormal?
Right. So in Malaysia alone, there's a lot of questions surrounding it. Is it safe? Is it halal? Is it no? This
it is safe.
It is definitely safe. It's now a lot of papers have been published with regards to that. Now, I guess the next person we want to bring into the conversation, she's been sitting in the between us, listening to the both of us. Darlene, welcome to the show. So, why is Darlene here? Maybe you can explain to us why Darlene is here first.
Darlene is one of our patient, okay, which is she's preparing herself for fertility.
Okay,
so maybe she can give an advice.
So when you say preparing yourself, how do you mean when you say I'm preparing myself? What are you doing to prepare yourself?
I've been married for 11 years now.
11 years?
And I know about, first of all, I know about Dr. Mohan. He's very famous doctor even before I met him.
Right.
So I read a lot about
He's a rock star in the IVF world.
It's true. I know, just imagine, I know about him like few years before I met him.
Okay.
So I do the study about this.
Research lah.
Research,
you went back, you did your research all.
About IVF. And at the end, I went to go to see his patient, which successful in this. And he has 4 of them that I know.
Okay, so when you went and saw his patients, the successful patients, what did they tell you? Doctor ni bagus.
No, they say, I was like, is it your first time? Then all of them say yes. I was like, wow, amazing, because some of them, they go up to 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And they are successful with the first IVF. So I called him. I say, doctor, I want to see you.
So she says they are successful with the first IVF, which simply means there were cases where people
a lot. IVF, everybody knows it's hard to be successful on the first one. It's really hard.
Right.
Many people just spend and I know why. After I met him, I said, doctor, I want to see you. So he said, come to this. He gave the address of his office. And then I start to understand why. To be honest, he is a doctor that don't do this IVF for the sake of business and money.
Okay.
He really don't do that because I say, I'm ready.
As we've ascertained in the beginning of the show, he does it because he loves it and he sees, it brings him joy to see another life come to the world.
I guess so. Then I went to see him. He said, why are you here? I say, I want to do IVF. Are you ready? I say, yeah, I'm very ready for a long time.
Right.
And then he said, after my treatment.
Did you speak to your husband about this, or your husband?
No, I went alone.
Both of them came together.
And then after that, I go with my husband. So I was surprised that he say, you have to get ready to do this. I say, I am all ready for that time.
Right.
Like
mentally, you were ready.
Definitely. And then he say, no, girls, you're not ready. You have to do this.
No, girl, you're not ready yet. Okay, yeah.
So it is not the the first initial visit when you see the doctor. We don't start the treatment immediately. We need to advise them. Need to prepare them. Need to mentally, physically, their body and everything for the treatment.
Okay, this one in my mind it looks like Rocky preparing for a fight.
It's
like that. So how do you do that? What's the preparation process or the prep process for this?
Okay, initially when they come, we do some blood investigation first, to see whether the hormones are stable. Some of them, they might have irregular menses, or the menses is normal, so we need to see their hormone. Then we do a simple ultrasound scan to see whether there is any mass or what is the size of the follicle, that means the egg which we're going to collect. Not only that, we do advise them on their diet, because diet plays an important role here.
Exercise.
Exercise also. You're right. Exercise also one of the things.
But while you're doing the blood work for the woman, you're doing the relevant scans to see what the situation is. Do you also investigate the husband?
Yes, of course, husband need to investigate. Husband's role is definitely only one role, where he need to give his semen analysis, finish his job. Not only that, only the thing women.
It's so unlucky that the boys have the easy work. Okay. So what research has been done? Before I get to you, what research has been done with regards to what multivitamins to take to become fertile?
Fertile, you see, there is no such vitamins that I tell you that we take this vitamin, you can get pregnant. No. Okay. Why we are taking this multivitamin is to maintain our body's health, or to reduce the toxins in our body. As you know, that as our age advances, there's a lot of toxins in our body. So these toxins are which causes reducing the quality of the egg. So what we do, advise them to take this vitamin, so that quality of the egg is better.
So this is a natural way of boosting your
Can.
fertility.
It can be a natural way.
It can be
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
natural way, and it can be in IVF.
Okay, so so it can be the natural way, it can be IVF. So you have to make that call. Now, before we get back to you, doctor, let's come back to Darlene and find out your preparation process. So mentally, you have to focus. You have to be prepared with your husband too.
Yes.
And physiologically, your body.
Okay.
How do you prepare it?
I try to, like doctor asked me not to put so much makeup, except for today.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Chemicals.
No chemical,
Chemicals
and
for
I'll
the
stay
body.
away from the ash, and always positive.
See, we thought it was an old wives' tale, okay, not to use too much makeup. Today we know
Yes.
you shouldn't.
Anything we put on our skin is a chemical, so get away from that. And then
Okay.
I feel a lot better after I met him with the diet he asked me to take every day. What the fruit, the everything. Listen
Right.
to him. I'm totally. I feel like someone new. That
Okay,
no, it's something that mommy should do to have a baby, to welcome a baby. Yeah.
So a lot of women don't prep themselves for it.
It's true.
Right.
It's true.
So most of the time when they come, I'm guessing, when women come and speak to you, you're talking to them about what do you do on a daily basis, after you come back from work, what do you do in order to prep yourself to want to become a mother or to try to conceive? Do you ask them questions like that?
I do, but you see, most of the women, they work late night. Okay, when they come, the diet is imbalanced, so they take late night
Okay,
food.
so
and
firstly,
everything.
the circadian rhythm is out.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And
And
the late
the-
night food doesn't help.
It doesn't help in anything. And the other thing is, of course, mentally they'll be very stressed out. Okay, so they'll be tired. So there is no is a sexual intercourse during that time. So you're working toward the day and you come, you'll be very tired. So that timing of your sexual intercourse, it is gone. So that can be one of the reasons why you cannot get conceived naturally.
It's hard.
It's hard,
It
quite
is
difficult.
very hard.
Both of them will be tired.
Right.
Yeah.
So which brings me to the next question, talking about a fertility window period. Okay, what's this all about?
Okay. Yeah. Fertility window period is the period during the menses time where the patient able to get conceive. So it is ideally will be 14 days before your end of the menses.
Right.
Assuming the women have a menses 28 days. Okay. Most of them, they have a regular menses within 28 to 30 days. So if they have a menses 28 days, so 14 days before the end of the menses, that is day 14,
Right.
is their fertile period. That means it can
Day
be
14 is when fertility
Yes.
sets in.
fertility sets in. That means that is the ovulation day. So that means it can be not necessary on the day 14. It can be on the day 12, 13, 14 or 15. So there's a range. So it can be from 12 to 15 days. So this is what we call fertile period or ovulation time. And if let's say you have your menses 35 days,
Right.
so it'll be day minus 14. So it'll be 120. So my
120,
maths is
yeah.
per okay, 21 days.
20.
So it can be from 19 to 22 days. So this is a fertile period. But this goes for the women who have a regular menses. How about people or menses for the women who have irregular? That means some of them, they have irregular menses 35, 48 days up to 60
So
days.
what you're saying in turn is when you have irregular menses, chances of you to conceive is hard because you don't know when the fertile period is.
Irregular menses hard.
Yeah.
For the regular menses is easy because they every month they have their menses 20 days or 30 days. So they can count when is their fertile period. If they have irregular menses, that is 2 months once, that is 48 days or 60 days. So very difficult to count their fertile period. So it's very simple how you do count is assuming a patient where she have a menses 38 days to 60 days. Okay, so you take the shortest cycle, which is 38 days, you need to minus with 18. So we are getting 20.
20 days.
Then the 60 days minus with 11. So it will be 41. Am I right? So your fertile period will be 20 to 41.
Right.
You don't know when is that. So it is quite difficult for you have a sexual intercourse 2 to 3 days to get the fertile window period.
Okay, so with Darlene's problem, if you don't mind, we dig a little deeper into your problem to find out now, where is Darlene at this point? Coming to you for IVF treatment and opting for IVF treatment, in what stage is she at this point? Because I want to go into another subject. They say you can change the color of the baby's eyes, you can choose the gender, you can, there's so many things that can be done. So we need to move into what is fact and what is myth. Yeah. So where do we start? Can you choose the baby's gender?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Did you choose your baby's gender?
No,
you didn't
I
choose.
don't know.
You leave it. You leave it to the Lord. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else can you choose and can't you choose?
Gender is one. The other thing is the abnormality of the baby. As you know, when they age at once, the baby tend to have some abnormal, like, commonly it's kind of Down syndrome. Because as they age at once, baby have to be a syndromic baby. So we can choose to be a normal baby rather than have a syndromic baby through this IVF.
So you can choose, you can opt to have a normal baby. I mean, people won't opt to have a syndromic baby.
Yes.
But having said that too, they say now they can even omit hereditary diseases.
Yes, you're right. We can do that. Yes,
that
from the
can be
IVF,
done?
it is possible.
Okay.
But what we do is we do a pre-genetic screening or pre-genetic diagnostic to choose this syndromic baby or the normal baby.
So you have a lot of boxes to tick, what you want, what you don't want.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but I don't
But
choose
usually,
that, yeah.
you see,
Yeah.
when the couple comes to us, okay, they wanted to have a baby, so they don't mind in having a
Yeah.
girl or a boy, so they
It's
don't
true.
choose
As long
unless
as we have
as long as a
one.
healthy
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. I mean, after waiting for so many years, in your case,
Yeah.
10 years, you really don't care,
male or female.
it's
Yeah.
male or female. All you want is a child to
Child.
care for. Yeah?
The healthy one.
Now, with that, also while you carry out the process of IVF, you walk them through every step, right?
Yes,
So
you're
what
right.
kind of advice are you giving at this point?
Okay, prior to the IVF, of course, one, you should be mentally stable. One, okay, you should stress free.
Right.
You
Are you
cannot be
mentally stable?
stressed. Of course, when they're starting, they'll be stressed up. Okay,
Yeah.
is it going to be a successful or one? That is the first thing. Most of my patients, before start itself, they will ask, doctor,
Right.
what is the percentage successful? Is it going to be a successful one? Or what is the failure rate? All this is going to be stressed up your treatment. Okay, that is important. And the other thing, if Darlene want to explain, how the process and how the injection has been done.
Right. Okay. You want to talk about the
Yeah.
injection? Don't scare me, please. I don't want to faint.
So how many
I don't
days you
want to
take the
fall in
injection,
faint,
and she
okay?
can
Yeah.
explain to you.
Okay, I took the blood test at the
Right.
first
Yeah.
day, and then he saw anything we want to do about IVF, it has to be the blood test first. So
Okay,
I
so
found out many things there is less in my body to conceive a baby. So doctor start to scan. We go for the scan, the next treatment, and then I start to have some meds that I have to inject on my tummy twice a day.
Yeah, twice a day.
Twice a
That is
day.
one to make the
Two
egg to grow.
different-
Yeah.
to have a better egg for me. And from what I have problem on my ovary, which it cannot produce many eggs, and after the injection we try to scan, and it's really like
I mean, you're
a
seeing,
lot.
seeing
Yeah,
a good
it's
success
really-
rate there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The purpose
it
of this injection is to make the how many of numbers of egg to
Yeah.
grow, as many of the eggs to grow,
Right.
so that once the eggs have grown to the size that which we want, where we call it a maturity, which is around 17 to 18 then we try to retrieve the egg. The way how we retrieve the egg is by giving the sedation, where patient will be knocked out, so you don't feel the pain and everything.
it's no pain.
Yeah.
Actually, it's no pain at all. Many people because
They are feared that they
fear
might get the pain.
You don't feel the pain after 2 hours maybe. Then I'm home. Then I'm totally
back
okay.
to normal. Yeah. So I think we've got a few minutes left, Doc. Very quickly, if you can walk us through. Okay, your practice is predominantly in KPJ Hospital,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
What kind of facilities do you have within KPJ?
Okay, KPJ hospitals, of course, it's a big hospital, and IVF center is inside the KPJ hospital. So in this fertility center, we do provide in IVF. Not only that, we do have PGS. PGS, as I told you, is a pre-genetic screening where Subsequently, after the IVF, we will analyze this embryo or the egg to see whether this is a good quality of embryo. That means screen them from the syndromic baby. All right. Not only that, we have these facilities, what we call it assisted hatching, where we will hatch the embryo so that the implantation process will be much more easier and better. Not only that, we have a time lapse. Time lapse is where we monitor the embryo in the system, so that we can observe where there's a monitor where we can observe this baby growing. You know, for 24 hours or 48 hours, it can be grow. We need not come middle of the night to check whether it is growing or not. So there's a machine where we call it time lapse. They will monitor. So the next day we need to come and see whether they are growing or not.
Right.
Yeah. So
all these facilities are within KPJ Damansara. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So having said that, now the first successful birth of a child after IVF was in 1978.
Yeah.
Now the question is, are there any risks linked to reproductive technologies now?
Okay, risk, I don't think so. If you see naturally when the women they conceive, the risk is there, 2 to 3%. Because as you know, as age advance, there's a risk of conceiving a syndromic baby. But by doing so, this IVF, the risk just increased to 3 to 4%, which is only 1% higher. So is this risk due to the IVF? Is still debatable, or is it due to the age factor?
Very, very interesting indeed. Now, coming back to you, Darlene, it must be a very exciting time for both you and your husband.
Yep.
Well, and you're talking on national TV. You know, what is your message to everyone else about IVF or about having a child?
Okay, so to married couple out there who doesn't have baby yet, no matter how long you've been married, like me, I'm 11 years this year. So just put away, like, don't be shy to ask doctor our problem. I was in your shoes then.
What about talking to your husband? You know, saying if you have a problem and you need to talk to your husband about it. What would your advice be with regards to saying, having a couple discussion?
Okay, definitely. If couple they talk to their partner,
Husband not to be egoistic lah. That's the only thing. You need to.
To me, I think as a woman, and I read about this, we women, almost 90% of this one is because of from women. It's not from men.
Right.
But it doesn't say that men are safe, no. But it's from us. So don't be shy, nothing. Just go and see doctor. It's okay.
Your message very quickly to Malaysia about IVF.
I know there are quite a number of people outside there. They are still not aware of IVF facilities are available. So we do advise to the couple over there, please come forward for the treatment, especially the husband. Sometimes only the wife comes along, not the husband, because most of them they think the husband, there's no issue or problem with them. But to see you frankly, 20 to 30% the fertility still lies on the husband. Okay, so it is joint both where the couples need to come and seek for the treatment so that we can have a better chance of success of getting pregnancy.
Right. On that note, thank you very much, Dr. Mohan Raj Varadaraju, fertility consultant, obstetrician and gynecologist from KPJ Damansara Specialist Hospital. We also like to thank Darlene Ernie, one of his patients, for coming in to also talk about her experience with IVF. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure and an honor to have you on the show. We hope to have you back again, and all the best to you, Darlene.
Thank you so much.
Stay with us right here on Medical Today. We're going to come back with more for you just after a short break.